And that's another thing as well. Don't listen to these reporters that talk about, oh, Aleister Black this, oh, Vince was never high enough. Like, that's not true. That's not true at all. What murdered me was, I think, the 7 months at home. Was that?
Oh, no, I was just cheering.
Oh, okay. Don't listen to them because they don't know anything. They don't have insiders. They have people that tell them warped stories. Like when like I think in the span of 7 months that I was at home, there were like 7 different reports. Vince, like that my NXT request got shut down. That's not true at all. Didn't get shut down at all. Actually, it got praised. I was actually like, that's a really good idea. But his thought was like, no, I just want to do it this way first, and then if it doesn't work out, I can always, put you back in NXT. Because I had a whole plan for that too, but it wasn't like shut down hard at all. No, not at all. Like, and this is the problem, right? They're not in those talks. They're not in those conversations. They don't know any of these people. Don't waste your money on it because it's like for the most part, it's a 5% truth, and they'll fabricate 95% around it just so that you click on it. It's just sad to see that this business has become like a tabloid thing, which I always think is so strange because why are you scamming people? Why are you feeding this like negative narrative continuously? Why are you? I don't get it because negativity sells, but you also have to realize you have to be smarter than that system because I can guarantee you from being in that company and seeing some of these articles pop up, 95% of them was just fabricated. Or like there was a moment where apparently like I remember Asuka leaving a live event and immediately it was like, oh, Asuka mad, storm that live event. No, she was just done with her match. She just went to the next town. You can sensationalize anything you want. There was a story about that Lars Sullivan at one point was supposed to be the NXT before me. It's never a thing. It was all just, NXT apparently not high in Aleister Black. No. The thing is, and it's frustrating because it puts us in a shit position because, you as fans, and I don't blame you for the most part, like that's the closest source of news that you have. But it's not a source of news. It's fabricated, and it's fabricated to make you think a certain way. It's programming your brain to like, oh, these mother effers, And a lot of times it's not right. Sure, there's times where where it's right, but I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day too, right? So, and I was like the plan's changed line. Yeah, that's like literally the biggest cop out in the world. As far as I'm concerned, I think I was spared for the most part. I think, like despite those things, I think, there's clearly also good intent in some of them. But, there's the thing is like validating your sources and validating your stories versus just like blatantly pulling out stuff that harms people. Taking effect a couple weeks ago with my wife that harmed her so much. Nothing but hate comments and like often it's all because someone was like, oh, sign up to my Patreon and I have news. But in reality, there was no news. There literally was no news. There was just, there was nothing, and it's the same people that all talk about being supportive and helping each other out and then doing stuff like that and don't realize the harm that they cause. And I blame people like that for that. I just don't. I don't like that. And it doesn't have to be that way. And that's the same thing because it does more harm than good. I am definitely planning a visit back to the Netherlands, and then. This happens. So you can't, this is an everlasting, evolving, fluctuating business. And I'm very thankful for Vince and for Hunter and for Bruce and for Heyman and for all the people that have always helped me out. Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Rowan, John, rest in peace. Just being surrounded by great people. And I think Roman Reigns, honest to God, one of the fucking best locker room leaders I've ever had in my life. Same with the Usos, great people, and I'm so stoked that they're pushing Apollo, right? That's a guy that needed a break, and he's knocking it out the park. He's so good at his character, he's so good at his role, and it's
my character, and especially the stuff with the Easter eggs. The reason why I came out with that demon leg, for instance, right? I started doing that when I came back after Johnny attacked me, after they attacked me, the parking lot angle, right? A lot of stuff happens in that parking lot, guys. Never go there. Sorry, I got to get my my energy in, right? So I felt like, the one thing you have to understand about Aleister Black was basically the devil with memory loss. He knew that, he'd done something wrong and he felt that he needed to pay for it. And I always thought it was an interesting concept. Like, what if, when Lucifer fell to earth and he smacked on the ground, what if he woke up with how did I get here? And that was kind of the idea that I had behind Aleister. And I used a lot of layers in that, but he was always very positive about me. I have a good relationship with Vince. I always told him how I felt. He always respected it about me, and he always praised me on my creativity and my ability to have manners and respect, but still being honest with him about how I felt. And you never really truly know why things end the way they did, but all I can tell you is that from my point of view, and the word that I was always given was that Vince was always pretty high on me. I did well on television. It was just that we could never really nail down what it is that we wanted Aleister to be on the main roster versus what he was in NXT, right? And, and where that problem lied, I don't know. At the same time, you have to realize that, when I was under Heyman's wing, Heyman fought tooth and nail for me, but it was always I don't know if you ever noticed, but I didn't really have a lot of control over those. I was just new on the main roster, and I didn't want to be that guy that complained about everything. Stanley Barst, I thank you so much for your subs, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. One of the things that I could have control over is certain words. The idea that Aleister had this small ability to look into the future. He had precognitive abilities. So I would use my opponent's ring gear, their colors in my background. So, when I wrestled the Singh brothers, I had pink in the background. And I think with Buddy, I had white and goldish or yellowish light in the background. So that would hint at at my next opponents. And I did all these when I said in ring and I said, I feel like a caged animal, that was hinting at me and Rowan, because he was walking around with that caged animal. So Aleister Black, I tried to have a lot of slowly but surely it was going to unfold into an obviously more understanding of what he was talking about. It wasn't going to be, and already wasn't as cryptic as it was before, which we're here now. And I've had a great time. I've had a phenomenal 4 or 5 years in the WWE. If I didn't, we wouldn't have had so many viewers right now. And I'm just really thankful for a lot of things that WWE has done for me. And I'm the most thankful I am is that I was given a platform that I was able to give you guys parts of myself, of my character. And I was really excited for this Dark Father stuff. It was actually, for the most part, created by myself. I wrote a lot of the context, and slowly but surely, the idea was that it was, it was gonna. Thank you guys so much for the subs. I appreciate that, guys. Ride. Thank you guys so much, and I hope that you guys come back in, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 days. It's going to take some time to figure some things out, get my thoughts aligned, because eventually, obviously, it's going to come down crashing. I'm hopeful. I'm positive. I have a lot of things in the work already that I luckily had before I got released. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much. I will see you guys very, very soon. And over and over and over. Wow, DJ Run, thanks for the 25 bomb, dude. Shit, holy fuck. Thanks, dude. Wow. Damn. And it's I think my character, the first conversation I ever had, and the funny thing is, I remember all these things, is I said to Hunter, I said, look, I just want to be, all the metal bands that kids use to rebel against the system, against their parents. And as cliche as that sounds, it's relatable, right? Because everybody, especially nowadays, especially when you're young, it's so difficult to be understood by a different generation. I wanted people to, have the consensus of understanding that my character was like a cool dude, like a mysterious guy, and at the same time, having a hard-hitting style, but also having a sense of being relatable to the point of love to work against Bray. I think Bray's great. He's a guy that fights really hard for all his stuff, because they try to change everything about him continuously, but he's a dude that just fights tooth and nail. I've had a tremendous 5 years, and I'm very thankful for Hunter, Vince, and our creative staff, Mrs. McMahon too. It was great. I'm not going to be angry about it. and I'm not going to be like bummed out about it. I owe a lot to them. I owe a lot to the to WB. You know, like again, if it wasn't for WB, we wouldn't be having this like conversation with like more than 8,000 people here hanging out, right? It's so easy to be negative, and I don't want to. I don't want to be negative.